Hey.
Hey.
Oh,
Is everyone gone?
I think there's just one family left. If we're quiet, we might get away with it. Do you want a drink?
This is the wine.
Have you tasted it?
It's the best wine I've ever tasted.
Do you know?
Are we supposed to keep it a secret, are we?
Well, I just need to check that we're talking about the same thing. Lots of things that happen at weddings, you know, we're not allowed to talk about.
I mean, the new teacher who basically performed a massive miracle and saved the wedding and turned all the water into wine.
Same page.
So did you see it?
I was one of the ones his mum got to do it.
So what happened?
Well, we all knew the wine was running out, didn't we?
I was back here trying to subtly water down, what was left over.
So I'm out the front. Mary comes over to me. She draws me to
Mary? Like as in Joseph and Mary?
Yeah, that Mary. She asked me to come and see Jesus with her.
And? What was it like? What was he like? Everyone's going to want to know.
Well, it was really odd to start with because everyone's been talking about him, especially since John the Baptizer, when John dunked him onto the water with everyone else, remember? Said that he's the one that we've been waiting for.
And apparently he's got this new job, hasn't he, where he's going to baptize people, but not with water. He's going to do it with God's Spirit, whatever that means.
And then John the Baptizer says he's the sacrificial lamb, like in the temple, the one that's used to cleanse us spiritually from all of our spiritual impurities. And when you meet him,
Was it an anticlimax?
Well, no, I mean, I wasn't expecting him to be like this massive, I don't know, you know what I mean? But at the same time, when I met him, he was wearing the same as everyone else and talking like everyone else, and there wasn't anything particularly grand or impressive about him, and nothing that really drew you to him,
So, bit of an anticlimax.
No, stop. No, maybe that's the way he looked at me. Or even when he shook my hand,
Guests, do not shake the hands of servants.
Well, exactly. It's like, he did. It was like we were all friends, or like he was my dad, or I don't know. It was not like meeting anyone else I've ever met. So anyway, Mary tells him we're out of wine, right? And he basically says it's not his problem because he's just a guest, and it's not his time to go public.
Not his time. Bit late for that. John the Baptist kind of sent a rocket into the air, didn't he?
Exactly. Maybe that's why Mary said what she did. She looked at us, right, and she tells us just to do whatever Jesus tells us to do, just obey him,
And that's when you got the water.
Well, there was some water in the jars, but we needed more because people had been using it to wash themselves.
Of course they had. These are the jars for the living water that people ritually wash themselves with.
And you know what weddings are like? Everyone's got to be seen to do the right thing. So the groom and the bride, it's a huge thing. So everyone's washing their feet and washing their hands, and we're all washing the pots and plates and stuff on publicly, so everyone knows we've done it right, and that God's been invited to deal with the big, the deep cleanness.
So where did you get all the fresh living water from then? The rite only works if the water is from a fresh source, like rainwater or spring water or running water that's running over rocks.
Well, there's a spring nearby. We did like a human chain, and we passed the water until the jars were full right to the brim,
Right. Did you see it happen? Did you see it transform?
No, none of us did. We totally thought it was all just water, It was dark, there's lots of fuss and noise and smells, and I thought I was taking it to the head waiter so he could see the water as a replacement for the wine, but...
Were you nervous?
Was it? No. Yeah, I was planning what job I could do next after he sacked me from this one. Thought it's going to be my last wedding job, Then he takes it straight to the bridegroom, and I'm like, oh, uh-oh. And then everyone's like, he says, you've saved the best till last, and he tells if he wants to go get more glasses.
Yeah. Luckily for you, there's like 6 massive vats of it.
The best he's ever tasted. Save the best till last.
It's quiet now though, isn't it? Everyone's gone.
What do you think about him? Do you think he's the one we should be waiting for?
I don't know. Since the Romans took over here, we've had one fake revolutionary after another, all claiming that they're the liberator.
That's what I mean. Like about meeting him, he's not trying to make a name for himself. He was humble. But then there's this, it's like, I've never heard of anything like this.
But why would he do it? If he's the Messiah, if he's the liberator one, right? And we need someone who's going to bring us freedom from the Romans, not someone who's going to go around giving out free drinks.
And the feeling is that his students should have known, or we should have known, but the public, at the wedding, we had to keep it quiet. Like, I thought maybe it was for the dignity of the bride and groom, but maybe it's because he doesn't want to draw attention to himself.
And what does it mean? If he is the sacrificial lamb
to cleanse us from our sins,
if this is one of the first things he's doing, maybe it's meant to be like a signpost.
To what? To point to what?
To point to him. Think about it, 6 stone jars. Come on. Why are the stone jars stone? Why stone?
Come on.
It's basic stuff.
The jars are stone because according to Moses, stone cannot be corrupted.
Right. So it can't become unclean. And the living water?
Living water hasn't yet had a chance to become impure.
So the ritual washing, it works because it's doubly pure, right? Pure water in a pure vessel.
Right. So maybe it is a signpost then? Maybe what he's doing here is to make his followers clean?
It doesn't make sense. He's turned it into wine.
Yeah.
That's different. It's like, we don't wash with wine, you drink it. So maybe it's not about washing something on the outside of us, like our hands. Maybe it's about making us clean on the inside because we have to take it inside us or something.
But there's so much left over. I mean, hundreds of bottles.
Well, maybe that's because he didn't want there to be any chance that there would ever not be enough.
Imagine if it is him. If he is the liberating one we've been waiting for.
I've never seen anything like this before.
Me too. I've heard of people getting healed and stuff, but this...
Do you ever feel like you need to be cleaned on the inside?
Me and my brother, right, we used to fight all the time. It was really bitter. We got into this cycle. One day he just got up and left, and didn't hear from him from 5 years, and when we did, it's because he'd been in an accident and he died. I know I'm supposed to think it's not my fault and everything, but I know. If I'd been acting according to Moses' laws, then all the things that drove us apart, like me being jealous and me telling lies about him, and I know he'd have stayed. I know it. I can't shift it.
You're not responsible for the way other people behave and react,
No, I know, but I'm responsible for what I do, what I've done. And worst of it is I still do it, I'm still a person who would love to have everything in the world, I still get jealous, I still speak down about people, and I look at myself. I think if people could see what was going on in my head, I wouldn't dare leave the house, And when I look at Jesus, when he took this hand here, even before the wine thing, it was like taking hold of hope, taking hold of forgiveness. Did you feel clean? Just for a moment, I felt like it was me, Not the me that's covered in all the rubbish, my regrets and the things I've done. And
you're like a kid, when you're a kid and you run home and you can just be yourself and that's enough.
Yeah, like that. And the more time that's passed since I met with him, I felt that liberation. The more I can feel it slipping away from me, and the more hungry I get to feel it again,
Well, there was more than enough wine.
You're telling me I should drown my sorrows or something?
No. If he is the one, and he's come to be that lamb that takes away the sins of the world, if he's going to baptize people in God's Spirit or something, and he's the liberator, then maybe you don't just need a taste. Look how much wine there was. I mean, maybe what he's here for is going to be so abundant that once someone's tasted his living wine, maybe you won't have to ever have that feeling again, Maybe once you're thirsty for this, you'll be washed deep inside you.
You can tell it's the end of a party, can't you? We're getting really deep and meaningful here.
And you and I are still sober?
What should I do?
Well, you should go and find him. Find him and talk with him.
He'll be in bed.
No, not now. Tomorrow. But don't leave it. Don't leave it.
A signpost.
I'm off to bed. Are you heading off too?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Yeah.
Listen. That feeling you described. I feel it too, that hunger, that loss of innocence and purity inside me. I felt that cleanness just being near him, just watching him. If you want, we can go and find him together and maybe just sit and listen to the things he's got to say. It can't do any harm.
Let's do that. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Good night.